You're listening to Sister Stargazers, celestial and terrestrial observations and advice from two real-life sisters.
Welcome, fellow stargazers. Your sisters are in the house. Hi, Jude.
Hello, Sarah.
Are we ready?
Good to see you. We're ready. Yeah.
For a packed powerhouse solar eclipse week. This is episode 59. We're going to look at the 23rd of October through the 29th of October, Sunday the 23rd through Saturday the 29th. Take it away, because there's a lot to go through.
Yes, this is the week of the planets changing signs, and also some major planets moving backwards, beginning a retrograde and beginning a direct motion. So a lot of change. The planets are moving out of one area of influence into another in everyone's chart.
Wow.
And it's Scorpio. Scorpio birthdays. Happy birthday, every Scorpio out there. Woo-hoo. Scorpio birthday. So the sun is moving into Scorpio on the 23rd. So Sunday the 23rd, Saturn goes direct in Aquarius, which means that it won't be back in Aquarius for another 29 to 30 years.
Wow. Okay.
So it's going to be traveling the last bit of Aquarius, and it's going to end up in Pisces at some point in the not too distant future, which is another show altogether. Venus will enter. Venus and the sun are tracking, which means they're in the sky in the same place together, in the same degrees. So Venus enters Scorpio, then the sun enters Scorpio on Saturday the 23rd, and then they both make a quincunx to Jupiter, up to Jupiter in Aries at the 0 degree point of Aries. So Jupiter is also retrograding back into Pisces. Jupiter at 0 degrees Aries makes this particular week, it gives an extra punch to this particular week because Jupiter is on the Aries point, which is a world point. It's a cardinal point. It's a change agent.
Yeah.
0 degrees of the cardinal signs are change agents. They offer large opportunities for making big change. And so Jupiter right on that point, combined with this new moon, solar eclipse, conjunct Venus, conjunct Mercury, is really offering us a big portal to walk through.
Nice. Yes. It's exciting.
It is exciting. Yeah. I mean, for some folks, it might be like a kick in the butt, but for other folks, for other folks who have been kind of keeping on top of their own personal work, their own personal, the things that are causing discord in themselves, like jealousy, rage, basically the avarices, the human avarices, any folks that are really struggling with that, it's time to drop that, all of it. Yep. This is the season. This is the moment. This is the opportunity in this eclipse new moon to leave all of that baggage basically behind.
Yes.
And forgive. You don't necessarily need to forget, but you're also able to more easily release because this new moon is on the south node in Scorpio, across from the north node, conjunct Uranus in Taurus. Right. So there's been a lot of activity up there in that Taurus area with the new moon in September and also the equinox.
Yep.
You should be in some ways feeling that late September through October has been like a time of release. You might be cleaning things. You might be throwing stuff away, going through things that aren't yours. You're holding on to. Why am I holding on to this? And also we talked about this a little bit, like the power of an object.
Yes.
That holds an emotion.
Yep.
And that you're the only one that it speaks to, right? This weird thing that you're holding on to, this weird figurine, whatever it is. And it's like, it has no intrinsic value except for that emotional quality that you give it.
Yes.
And this is the time when you can release that emotional, whatever, the memories, the occasion, the sadness, the grief around it, the loss, the joy, whatever it is.
Whatever it is.
You have to carry it forward.
Yeah.
You can let it go.
It's done its work.
Right.
It's served its purpose.
Exactly. This is a huge time for putting things in the fire.
And trust that work. Like the work is done. You can trust it. You have it. You can go forward now.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Awesome.
So, the moon, before it gets to conjunct the sun on Monday, the 24th, it makes a square to Pluto, which also is that it's enforcing that the releasing opportunities.
Yeah.
And then the moon enters Scorpio, makes a quincunx to Jupiter. So the moon revisits the quincunx to the sun that the sun and Venus had up to Jupiter.
That's right. Yeah.
The moon makes a quincunx to Jupiter. It's time to slow down. It's a time when you can overdo things in terms of the feeling nature. It's not going to be helpful.
Okay.
Like at this time when the moon is quincunx Jupiter, a little restraint will do you a lot of good. Like putting some real, not so much boundaries on your emotions, but really just Jupiter has a tendency to just magnify and
make it bigger.
Make something much larger. So this moon now in Scorpio, conjuncting the sun, conjuncting Venus, it's this new moon time. So there's a potential for our emotions to be much more volatile. There's things coming up. The sun is illuminating the subconscious, this place of Scorpio, that's deep, very deep feeling. So if it was a place, it would be the inside and the bottom of a well. That's the depth of Scorpio. It's very forensic. It goes in, it drills down, it examines, it unearths. So Scorpio is ruled by both Mars and Pluto.
Eek. Okay.
Yeah. So there is that, there's that opportunity. It's an opportunity.
Yes.
So Tuesday is a really good day to...
And this is the partial solar eclipse day. This is when the new moon is conjuncting the sun.
Yes.
And we won't see it in where we are in the northeast of the United States, but it's going to be Europe, Middle East, Northern Africa. In Western Asia, I think we'll have.
Just a bit.
Yeah.
But it happens at 6:48 a.m. Eastern time.
Okay.
So it's really just an hour after the sun comes up, but we will not, we're not in the area of its path where the shadow will be passing over us. But it is an eclipse of the sun by the moon. Nonetheless, the Earth in the sky, if you want to picture this in your mind, the Earth is on the left, the moon's in the middle, and the sun is on
the other side.
Out in space, So you've got the moon in a sandwich between the Earth and the sun. And the disk of the moon is blocking almost the full side, full size of the sun. Not completely, partially. But it is a new moon, so you want to set intentions for your future.
Yes.
Whatever that is. The moon will also be conjunct Venus. So this is a beautiful time to really think about who do you love?
What do you love? Yeah. Yep. Or what things you love that you'd like to see more of coming towards you.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And this whole week is flavored by this new moon.
Yeah. Of course.
Because it's so deep.
Yes.
It's so powerful, so emotional. So, things that you might not have admitted to yourself that you feel, you will feel at this, and may have been kind of there may be inklings and hintings of it.
I know I have been throughout this last week or so, like, ooh, what is that coming up? What is that? Okay, I'm going to get in touch with that.
Yeah, you just have to look at it and it goes, okay, that's an old thing.
Yeah.
That's from some time way back when. So if you really look at it with whatever that thing is, if you look at it with something of a tenderness or a compassion, a willingness, it will help to dissolve it. It will help to soften it. It will help you to let it go.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah. I mean, Wednesday, the moon is still in Scorpio, but it opposes Uranus and squares Saturn. So this is all part of this picture, this larger picture in the collective of authority versus individual sovereignty. Like who tells you what to do and why do they do it? And who has the right to control Uranus and Taurus, your body? who has the right to tell you what to eat or how to eat it, or what's good for you in terms of food, or how you should be growing things, like those are the kinds of questions that are also going to be part of this week.
Okay.
On the mundane level, including world leaders and countries, developments politically and policy-wise across different nations.
Yep.
I expect Europe, Italy, the Middle East to be a kind of a hotbed in the next 6 months of big change.
Yes. Yep.
Especially with the European Union.
Yep.
Some policy changes in Italy.
Yeah.
Regarding sovereignty, immigration issues.
Yeah.
And the same going across into, the Middle East. And you can see that now in the Middle East, right? With
absolutely
the uprising of women in Iran.
Yep.
So Venus conjunct the sun, right?
Yep.
This uprising of women. And then you drew this gorgeous card.
It is a gorgeous card. And I sort of just was thinking, let's have a card for this eclipse. What is coming up? It's from the Divine Feminine Oracle deck by Megan Watterson. And it is Sekhmet, who is the Egyptian goddess of destruction, war, rage, but also healing. And the image on this card is it's the figure of a woman with a lioness's head, and her head gear is a sun. She's the daughter of the sun god Ra, and the image of this card is actually a solar eclipse. That's kind of and the footnote for this card is to move from a place of anger as pure emotion into conscious action, to act with conviction, but to act from love. And the footnote says she wants us to create healthy boundaries we need so we aren't injured again and again. It's time to end destructive patterns. We have a divine right to draw a sacred circle around us at all times. And the intention is, I am pure strength. I honor my anger by giving voice to it.
That's so perfect. I can't say how perfect that is.
You said it. Oh, that's Venus and the sun. That's Venus conjunct the sun.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's inspiring because it also speaks about not containing that rage, but putting it into action.
So however that might be for you, whether, that could be just calling up the dumpster company and having them come and take it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Or, something much simpler like doing a detox, right? In your body, or eating better, or getting more sleep, because that can help your brain,
Right. That's part of those boundaries. I'm actually going to stop working at 4:30. I'm going to stop working at 5:00 when the clock is done. And I'm not going to keep going because other people have expectations of me. And then I'm resentful and angry that I'm not resting. Yeah. That's that part of the boundaries.
Yeah. And the time factor, we were both commenting that the days go by so fast. And this is part of what the eclipse time is also. There's a lot of solar activity right now. The solar flares are coming in fast and furious. And this also disturbs the electromagnetic waves.
Yep.
The soup that we're all kind of walking through, which is loaded, the cosmic the cosmic rays, the electromagnetic rays, I didn't realize this, but in Quebec in 1989, it was a massive solar flare that wiped out their grid up there. That gave them that 4-day blackout.
Oh my gosh.
It was a solar flare. That was 1989. And they didn't figure that out for a long, they were like, what happened? I mean, there were fluctuations in our grid down here, but it really hit Quebec, and it just wiped out everything. Everything went black.
Yep.
And they had no idea what had happened, but it was a solar flare. They finally figured it out. I mean, but this was years later. But that's the powerful forces that we're working with right now.
Yes.
And they're invisible.
I was just going to say, we can't necessarily, they're traveling from far away. It's vibration, it's frequency, and it does have an impact on us.
Yeah. Okay. So Jupiter enters Pisces. This is a big deal on October 28th, Friday.
Okay.
Mercury enters Scorpio on the 29th. And then Mars starts retrograde on October 30th. So you get what I mean?
Yes.
I mean,
this
these
is
are
interesting.
Major shifts in this week. So there's a lot of changes. Don't be surprised if there are surprising announcements during this time, and then we don't have to talk about it now, but there is another eclipse coming up November 8th.
Right. Yeah.
2 weeks away, which will be a full moon.
Yes.
So this is a new moon eclipse. There'll be a full moon lunar eclipse.
Right.
Which is what you see at night.
Yeah.
So lots of good things coming. But I wanted to also mention, and I hope we have time for this.
Yes, please do.
Gemini 26 is where Mars starts retrograde, and it won't be going direct until January 12th, 2023. So it's backing up right to 8 degrees Gemini, and then it will start moving forward, covering almost the whole
slice
Gemini
of Gemini.
Slice.
Yeah. Okay.
So this Sabian symbol just spoke to me, and this is from Lydia Hill's work with the Sabian symbols. You can find her work at sabiansymbol.com.
Great.
But this is Gemini 26, and the image is winter frost in the woods. And this is her interpretation. This symbol shows things in a dormant or hibernation stage. There has been a time of fruitfulness which has now passed. This is rather a time or situation of withdrawal and inner growth. However, once again, a time of new developments and fresh growth is surely coming. It seems that there's no point trying to force growth, as it may not be possible now. It is wiser to prepare for more vibrant and expansive times by using times of dormant activity to ensure that you get rest, get organized, or recharge your batteries.
Yes. Yeah.
And denying this natural flow of the season will bring, not doom, but I mean, it won't be good. So trying to rush things is not going to work.
Yeah.
There might be a sense of feeling frozen out, lost, or neglected.
Yep.
But the struggle to survive the cold and heartless conditions, that's what this represents. It's the calm before dawn, the silence when making a connection with nature in cold, barren times. So there may be this sense at this time, especially during this eclipse week with Mars starting to go retrograde, that you're going in big time. And that's okay.
Yes.
That's a really good place to be.
Well, even maybe feeling stalled or feeling like, ugh, I have to stop. But the thing I'm taking away from the Sabian symbol is that it's a great time to rest and organize and recharge. And you had mentioned too, with the Neptune aspects, to dream. So that's where I'm taking a lot of, it is for me, excitement here, and also just comfort knowing that I don't have to push, because this calm time is also necessary.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Well, that was a lot to pack into a short podcast episode.
How did we do?
So friends and listeners, if you have questions, please reach out to us. We love hearing from you at connect@SisterStargazers.com. You can also tune into our weekly live call-in astrology show, Eastern Time, 7 p.m. on Monday nights, WMPG.org. You can call us live there at the station. That's all I've got.
Yeah. If you have any questions too, or you want to make any comments, you can post them on the Facebook page. We're always checking that out too.
Well, then I guess we'll talk to you after this eclipse portal.
Yes.
Have safe travel through the portal.
Absolutely. And all will be well. Yeah. Don't worry.
Thanks, Jude.
Yeah. Thank you, Sarah. Take care, everyone out there. Bye for now.
Thanks for listening to Sister Stargazers. Let us know what worked for you this week. Find us on Facebook and post a comment at Sister Stargazers.